Hello, my name is Michelle and welcome to my channel, Michelle's Melancholia. Thank you for joining me once again in my temporary location. Despite what the title of this video may say, today I will not be making reading resolutions for the new year. I'm sorry, I needed to clickbait you so you would watch this video. And the reason I don't want to make resolutions or set goals is that I have found out that they are really bad for my mental health. I'm just really tough on myself, and I've had bad experiences in the past where I make resolutions and then I just can't keep up with them. And suddenly halfway through the year, I'm reflecting on how I'm doing and I realize I'm just failing miserably and I feel bad. So I don't want that to happen this year in my personal life. But also, I don't want that to happen with my channel because I've been having a lot of fun doing this and I don't want it to become a stressful thing. However, I've been having so much fun watching everyone's resolutions and goals and plans that I just didn't want to be left out, and I wanted to film a similar video as well. I was particularly inspired by two booktubers. The first one is Chatty from The Mad Chatter, which, by the way, please, if you like to read also non-horror books, particularly fantasy, go check out her channel because she talks very passionately about the books she reads. And as the name of her channel hints, she talks a lot and she's very, very entertaining. So anyways, what inspired me about her video is that one of her reading resolutions was to read fewer books. And it was such a refreshing thing to hear when most other booktubers are trying to up their numbers. And the reason she gave for this is that she wants to engage more meaningfully with each of the books she reads. And I was like, yes, that's what I want to do as well. So I am copying her. I don't know if I'm actually going to read fewer books because I'm not focusing on numbers, but I want each book I read to really count. And this leads me to the other video that also inspired me, and that was Lawrence from Happy Hunt's Library. She also made a point of mentioning that she doesn't really look at numbers. That's not what drives her, that's not what motivates her, and I agree. And what I really like about the way she set her goals is that they were not so much goals as guidelines that she thought would stimulate her creativity and help her engage with the media she consumed, also in a more meaningful way. So with that in mind, I decided to set not resolutions and not goals, but intentions. That's what I'm calling it. And I narrowed it down to 3. So it should be very simple for me to just use these as reminders of where I want to put my energy when reading and creating content. And hopefully this will help me to make much better use of my time and energy. So I have time for reading, for booktube without burning out. So intention number 1 is making some changes in the type of content that will constitute the bulk of my uploads. So I want to try doing weekly recaps. Even if I don't read a lot during a week, I think I would prefer to talk about the books I'm reading in like smaller doses, because what I have found is that often at the end of the month, when I have to do my monthly wrap-up, I realize that many of the books I read throughout the month I have never spoken about in my channel, and suddenly I feel a bit overwhelmed because I have a lot of books to talk about and I have a lot of things to say about them. So I think separating that into mini updates that I do each week would be better. Also, my favorite video to film was my science fiction reading vlog where I read The Moon is a Harsh Mistress, and I also loved the end product because I had a nice documentation of my thoughts while I was reading the book. And that was great because sometimes at the end of the month also I forget about key things that I liked about certain books, so I don't want that information to get lost. So I was thinking maybe within those weekly recaps I could have little vlog clips just with different thoughts I had while reading that week. So I'm gonna try that format out, see if I'm comfortable filming like that, see if I'm comfortable with the end product, and also let me know if you like the end product. Intention number 2 is to review all books that I rate 4 stars and 5 stars. And this will include both video reviews and written reviews that will go up on Goodreads and Storygraph, and I am planning on reviving my blog. And the reason for this is also because the more I read, the more reviews I have to write. And again, that can be quite overwhelming for me, especially when I'm quite busy at work and I don't have so much spare time. And I was thinking that maybe I could optimize this, because many books that I give low ratings, the reason I don't like them is because they are forgettable. Or I just feel like I don't really have that much to say. I mean, other than, yeah, it was okay, but nothing memorable. Whereas with books I really like, I often have a lot to say. So I decided to just focus on those books. I guess if I feel really strongly about a book I dislike, I would write a review for those as well. I think I just have to let go of those books that I thought were meh. And finally, the last intention is to keep detailed stats of the books I read. I want to make sure I'm reading diversely, of course, in terms of author and representation, but also I want to read diversely in terms of genre, book length, publication date, place of publication, format, and whatever I can think of in the future. And because I'm a big nerd, I would love to make some graphics and come up with cool ways to visualize all this data. And finally, this is a bit of a separate thing, but I do have a big reading project in the works. I am still finalizing some details, but I'm hoping to announce it in the first days of January. And on my next video, I will talk about a few yearly reading challenges that I have enjoyed doing in the past, in case you want more ideas of things you want to join, or if you want some inspiration to build your monthly TBRs throughout the year. Thank you so much for joining me in this channel this year, and I can't wait to see you here next year. Let me know if you have any exciting reading plans or resolutions or goals, or if you want to set intentions as well. I wish you an amazing new year, and I will see you in 2023. But until then, goodbye.